lot of people that sell to the farmers markets will stop at between 5 and 6 weeks and butcher, be fine with a 5-pound bird. We go all the way. We went all the way to 9 weeks.
We're trying to hurry because we got a storm coming. And we need to move the birds uphill because they're down in the valley.
These videos are the last videos of the very last week that we had with our meat birds. And we thought that we would take you guys along with us and show you what happened. On this particular day, we needed to move the chickens up the garden because they were in the valley. We were about an hour away from getting hit with the remnants of Hurricane Beryl, and we didn't want to take any chances of any of them possibly drowning, so we had to take action quickly. But I had forgotten to turn the fence off. So my meat birds ran right towards the fence when we lifted up the chicken tractor and started getting shocked. They were all okay, but yeah, that was pretty scary because I didn't expect them to run right towards the electric fence as soon as we lifted up the chicken tractor. So we were just picking them up one by one and putting them in a wheelbarrow and then wheeling them back up. This was a job in itself. It was very hot this day, and we were just trying not to overexhaust or upset the birds because they were having a hard time breathing as it was due to the extreme high humidity and just the heat itself. I kept having to take buckets of water out to their chicken tractors and dump cold water on the ground because they were just suffering. I had lost one bird, and he was probably a 12 to 13 pounder. He was the biggest bird that we had, and that was very disappointing. So we were trying to be as careful as possible with these birds, and we didn't have a direct place to put them while we were moving them. That's why we had to move the chicken tractor first. So it was, I don't know, if we were to plan it out again, I would have done what Matthew did and just moved, probably brought the truck in and then picked them all up one by one and then moved the chicken tractor. It's good to have, something to put the chickens in while you're trying to move them. But on this day, like I said, we were just in a hurry and just wanted to get the job done as quickly as possible before we got rained on. We did have one left that just did not want to cooperate with Tobias while he was just chasing him around the yard. He felt sorry for him.
We got all but one moved in this tractor. Would you like to do the last one?
This one was having a particularly hard time.
Why do you think that is?
He's fat. He's gonna have a heart attack.
Take a breather, Colonel Sanders. I'm gonna try to inch him over here somehow. Was that a good idea?
Terrible idea.
It was a terrible idea. So
half of them got shocked by an electric fence.
Yes. They only can withstand being moved inches at a time. So we're gonna have to figure out another method for this. I think we're gonna get inside of it and try to move it like that. One on the inside lifting up, one on the outside lifting up, so we don't run over any birds. Woo! Keep going. So we're not gonna move this one all the way up because it's gonna be too much stress on the birds. So we're gonna move it to about right here where these clovers are, and hopefully that'll be good. Because Dad was like, move the chicken tractor first and then just leave them and then come get them. I sincerely apologize, guys. What are you guys doing? Ah!
Oh.
Oh! Did she get you?
Yeah.
They're getting pretty big, and some of the roos are getting too big, actually. So I'm thinking that I'm going to cut down on their feed in this last week that they're going to be here, because I'm afraid that they're going to have a heart attack. So, and I'm pretty sure that that's what happened to the roo that we just lost, and that was a 12, for sure, maybe over a 12 pounder.
Tell me when.
Come on, dang it. So we had to take her, we just took her out of chicken tractor. And we're gonna put her in the little chicken tractor over here because she can't walk, and I can have access to her more easily in the smaller tractor. We're not sure what's wrong with her, but Matthew says that there's something wrong with her leg. Maybe. But she won't get up, and she doesn't want to eat. She don't want to drink. She took a couple sips. Come here. Oh, we're gonna go feed the chickens in a second. We have this Saturday coming up. We're going to be harvesting all of our chickens. And so we let the birds go for longer than what we initially had planned, and they are getting huge. So we have had some problems with one of them is sick right now. We're getting ready to go check and see how she's doing. With this heat, we've been having some extreme heat, and they've been really suffering. We've been feeding them at night a lot, because to try to prevent them from giving them food in the heat of the day, because that can cause them to, you know, have heart attacks and things. So let's go check on them and see how they are, and we'll go from there.
So this here is the bird that we took out of the large chicken tractor, and we weren't sure what exactly was wrong with her, other than she just stopped moving, she stopped eating, she stopped drinking. So I just went ahead and put her in underneath my mulberry tree. She seemed the happiest there, and I was just, you know, giving her food, giving her water, and I would just have to pick her up and clean her up, you know, every couple hours.
I gonna get you.
Oh, Grandma.
Oh, so hard.
Come on, Gwen. Come on, chicken.
Come on, chicken.
I'm coming.
Fill the other one up.
Oh, let's go. That was not good.
It was a lot of work.
I'm gonna get your camera.
No, we're gonna go out the other way. What you got? What is that? Whew. Good morning, everybody. It is about 6 o'clock, and today we are doing the meat birds. I'm gonna kind of take you guys along with us and show you what how our setup is, and talk to you guys a little bit. We already have a butchering video from last year, so
I'm not gonna show the butchering per se, but I am gonna show you our setup and talk about how long we raise them. Just basically talk about what, you know, raising meat birds entails. So, and give you guys like sneak peeks of into, you know, what all and how we do it. I guess you could say it's too early. I'm sorry. Get some more iced coffee. Let's go. So it looks as though Matthew has gotten some birds going already. I'm guessing he put some in the back of the truck to bring over here so that we can have them close to us.
They're not very happy, but they're in there.
How many?
All of them out of the big coop. Because they can escape out of there.
No.
You don't think so?
They would have to jump pretty high. A good knife is very, very important. Plus, we're going to use these chicken shears here to cut the necks. So I'll show you our setup. So we got 2 tables, we got 2 bins for the guts, the innards, all that. Matthew's over here getting the water and propane hooked up so that we can do the scalding. This is our plucker.
Good morning. Get freezer camp set up.
That's the scalder. Anyway, this is where, these are our killing cones. We got some extra large ones this year, and we get these from Wright Farm. And we seem to like these the best. Last year we had purchased the same, but they were too small and we couldn't fit our birds in. Luckily, last year we ended up purchasing one for a turkey size because we thought we were going to get a turkey, and this was the only one that our birds fit in. So we ended up getting bigger cones this year. This is what the plucker looks like before we put the birds in. What's your name?
Brandon.
Rick.
And you guys come to learn about,
Yeah, we're gonna come.
or do you know how to do it?
I don't know how to do it, and I'm going to learn.
All right. And what's your name?
My name's Jerry.
Jerry? Holly. And they come to learn too.
Yes.
This year, me and Matthew were happy to show a few folks how we process our meat birds. This is our second year processing our own meat birds, and this time around was a lot easier than the first time, I will say that. So everybody got a turn, from the killing to the scalding to the evisceration, and we also showed how we packaged our birds as well.
Let's go weigh this thing up, man. See what she does.
A pen or a marker.
8.3.
Woo! 8.3. How was your first?
It was an experience, that's
chicken
for sure.
butchering experience.
It was an experience, definitely.
Would you do it again?
Yes, I would. I would definitely do it again.
How was your first time butchering experience?
It was good.
Awesome. Well, would you do it again?
Yes.
Would you do it again?
Do it again.
Oh, probably.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay, it is day 2. We're back at it today to finish harvesting all of our meat birds. We're on our way to get the last batch right now. Matthew's using the truck to go pick them up, put them in the back of the truck, so we don't have to carry these guys one by one.
Did you overdo it? So my garden gnome has passed away.
Oh wait.
Are you nervous?
You got really close to my face.
Are you nervous?
Yeah.
Are you nervous?
The second batch of birds that we did the next day went by fairly quickly. We got it done within a couple hours, and yeah, it just feels good to have a whole bunch of meat birds in the freezer. It's also nice to have company with you when you're doing all the eviscerations and stuff. It just makes the time go by faster. So huge shout out to Melissa.
And that's a wrap.
Over the last 2 days, we've processed 40 meat birds. Yesterday, we had 4 people here who helped out, and they wanted to learn how to process chickens. So that was a lot of fun. Good group of people. They each got to take a chicken home with them. We had 40 birds. And the cost for us to process the birds, that's buying the birds, feeding the birds, the ice, everything that we needed to be successful with the birds. It was $16 a bird, but they're organic chickens. So
We did end up losing 3 birds?
yeah, we lost 3 birds. Tag.
Well, one of them was very disappointing because he had to have been about a 12-pound bird. But, I mean, that's one of the realities, I guess, of raising meat birds. You're gonna lose some birds. It's probably inevitable. You're gonna at least probably lose one. How many did we lose last year?
3.
We lost 3 last year. So, yeah, we're 3 for 3. Are these the bags?
Yeah.
Speaking of bags,
We're getting ready to bag them.
what would you do differently next time? You can't think of anything?
I can't think of anything.
Well, I can. So we've been using the chick waters that we use initially when we purchase the birds, baby birds, to water them and feed them throughout their life cycle in the chicken tractors. And it's just a lot of work because they're not meant for large birds. So we need to come up with a way and to have more water inside of the chicken tractors, which we can build with a bucket.
Yeah, I gotta figure it out. I just gotta do it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely, I would not want to do that again. That was 2 years in a row I did that, and that's just.
And you want another chicken tractor like the small one?
Yes, and he's gonna make another original chicken tractor like he made, because it was a lot easier for me to pull around than the bigger one, making the sharp corners, the way that our garden is set up. That was the only reason why it was difficult with the larger chicken tractor.
Right.
Because you have the rows set up a certain width, and making the turn, I was, endangering my plants from running over my plants, which we won't talk about what happened to my plants today with the chicken tractor from somebody.
Some lessons learned. We need bigger waters that hold more water.
And some type of trough, feeding trough, that we could.
No, I've got it. I just never finished the troughs. I never finished them.
So we use these barrels. We purchased these barrels. Let me see. Over here behind me. How many gallons is that?
63 gallons.
60.
They're food grade. They're food grade barrels. Formerly, they were pickle barrels before we got them, and now we use them to we put them put ice in them and water, and then as we're processing the chickens, we put them in there, and then we let them sit there for 24 hours in the ice water.
We also, something new that we didn't have last year is a scale. Because we just used a regular kitchen scale last year, and that worked fine.
We used the bathroom scale.
Yeah, did we use the bathroom scale?
Yeah, Tobias.
Oh, we did. We used a bathroom scale last year. Yep. And that worked just fine.
It took us about 3.5 hours.
I think the longest part about it is the evisceration. The evisceration and the cleanup is the longest part.
And cleanup's the longest.
Yeah.
Because it really, I mean, we really had the birds processed. The actual processing for you and I and Melissa was only about 2 hours.
We'll show you guys what our biggest birds are, but we did a comparison on birds, and when people say, is it worth it? You could just go to the farmer's market and get that bird. Well, not our birds. I haven't seen a bird that size at the farmer's market. Most farmer's markets, even though they do raise the Cornish crosses like we do, a lot of them do, they don't raise them as long as we did, and they're not as large.
We were 8 weeks last year, and the average I think the average around 8 pounds last year.
But a lot of people
This
that
year.
sell to the farmers markets will stop at between 5 and 6 weeks and be fine with a 5-pound bird. We go all the way. We went all the way to 9 weeks.
we went to 9 weeks this year.
Yeah.
So we're gonna look at and see what the difference was by letting them go that extra week. Did we really gain that much more weight? We'll find out.
Right. Because we weighed some of them that we did yesterday, and what was our smallest one?
7.2.
Our smallest one was a 7.2. So we'll see what our smallest one. Well, we know who the smallest one was.
Right, with Princess.
Was Princess.
Yeah. Rebecca actually ran her over.
I told the story, but I haven't published that video yet because I was going to tie it in with this video. I was going to actually keep this bird. I did accidentally run her over with the tractor. It was very sunny that day, and I just didn't see her, and I ended up running over her legs. Her legs got broke, and this was early on. They weren't big birds yet.
Right.
And I was going to do a mercy killing, and I gave her to Matthew, and he put her in a tote because he was busy that day. We had a lot of projects going on, and he put her in a tote, and then he took her out of the tote over by where the regular chicken coop was, and she hopped all the way to the
She was in the pig pen.
pig pen. She used her
freaked
feathers,
out.
feathers. She used her wings.
I ran in there, saved her, and took her back out to Rebecca. I says, "Yeah, we got to keep her.
Yeah.
She has the will to live."
Right. I was going to keep her. Her legs ended up healing over time, and then over the last 2 weeks, the big ruse that was in there with her, they would get on top of her, try to mount her, which I really don't get. I didn't think that they did that sort of thing, but they did. And I'm guessing that's how her leg got broke again. This time it was broke. There was no her coming back from that because it was out this way, and there was no saving her. I would have to have taken care of her for the rest of her life, and I just I have birds that I have to take care of as it is.
Right.
And I wouldn't be able to put her in with the other birds because the other birds would have just attacked her and probably killed her. We're gonna take them out of these barrels over here, and we're gonna put them on 10 of them up here to dry. Put the bags on top of them, and then from there we put them in here to get shrink wrapped. So we just put a label on it like this. Put 8.2 pounds and then write the date on there. This is July 21st, right? There we go. And then we pop it in the freezer. Look at this compared to our roosters that we harvested. That's funny. $10.9. Woo! Woo! 11 pounds. 11 exactly. Woo! Oh, that's a turkey. Okay, today is the last day. We are packaging up the last 21 birds. We're just waiting for the scalder to heat up to around 200 degrees. Okay, so we are using some new bags that Matthew purchased because the bags that we normally use, they're not gonna be here till when? Wednesday, and we don't have till Wednesday, so we're gonna use these bags and see how they work. And if they work good, great. If not, we won't be using them again, and we'll let you know.
Hold the chickens, I almost said turkeys, chickens, out of the ice water. We put them on the drying rack so they can drip dry. Put the bags over them. So they're ready to go from here into the scalding pot, which is at approximately 195 degrees. And we're going to suck all the air out of it. There's going to be a straw inserted into the cavity of the chicken, which will help release the air out. And then we'll zip tie it shut. Stick the straw into the cavity. And when you're bagging these, it is key to tuck. You want to tuck them legs in.
Can you show a little bit better what you mean with the legs?
The other legs, they want to fan out. You want them tucked in.
So squeeze them in.
Squeeze them in.
And then twist.
And you make sure you get all the air out. Twist. You have a zip tie out, ready to go. Now we're going to go into the water. There you go, 1/1000s, 2/1000s, 3/1000s, 4/1000s, 5/1000s, 6/1000s, 7/1000s, ready to come out. Taking the glove off, putting a zip tie on. Take the straw out. And we got a nice packaged bird. 9.2.
Okay, we got a 9.2 bird. So far, our largest bird has been
11 pounds.
11 pounds. Okay, so now we're gonna try out one of the new bags and see how well they work.
One thing we need to do before we process chickens next time is create a checklist, because I almost forgot having bags to the last minute. you don't want to be going to process your birds and not have bags. The other thing that comes to mind is we let these birds go 9 weeks, and the feathers were tougher to get off, and I left them in the plucker a little longer, and some of the birds got mangled a little bit where they weren't turning correctly in the plucker. And I wasn't doing anything different than I'd done before. It's just we let the birds go longer this time. And then I kept them in the plucker longer so I didn't have to pluck out as many feathers, or so Rebecca wouldn't have to pluck out as many feathers by hand. But lesson learned, it's better to pluck them out by hand than mangling the birds. I think the 3 mil plastic bags are way better.
Oh, I agree about the bags. I think they're very flimsy. The other ones don't have give to them when you hold it up, hold the bird up. You can feel it stretching when you hold the bird up by the bag. So our biggest bird yet, 11.5, 11.3. Woohoo! Last one. How do you feel about having 2 freezers full of chicken?
I feel good. It's worth it.